welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for checking me out, baby. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because baby, it's a vibe over here, okay? So yeah, today we're going to get into a smoky, first of all, a highly requested, yes, smoky eye glam, baby. And I had so much fun doing this look. It turned out so amazing. And I honestly don't do smoky eyes that often, but the girls was giving and I gave back, period. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to be concealing my brows with Tarte Shape Concealer. So I wanted to bring y'all in closer because I want y'all to see how effortlessly I am concealing my brow. This is happening because I molded my brush, okay? If you guys would like a separate tutorial on how I mold my brushes to make concealing my brow and cutting my creases a smoother process, I can do that for you. Just let me know. And as you can see, I'm just taking that same brush with my skin tone concealer this time, and I am just literally underlining the brow, okay? Just making sure it's very straight, very defined, very smooth. So today I am not using a base. Instead, I'm going to be using a concealer. That's going to be Juvia's Place in the tone Fair. So after blending out the concealer into my underbrow concealer, I'm going to set the concealer with a translucent powder. The one that I'm using here is going to be Dermablend Translucent. Now, you want to do this with a base too, but when I say set, I mean take the smallest amount and tap it on top. That's it. You don't want to put too much because you don't want to make it hard for your eyeshadow to stick onto the concealer. But putting the translucent powder on top of your concealer or on your base makes it really smooth for the application of the eyeshadow. This is going to stop creasing, and it's also going to stop oils coming through on your lid if you tend to have oily lids. Now, moving on, today we are going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2. We're going to be taking advantage of the Empress, the G Money, and the Perfectionist. Now, we actually also had to use the Beats by Deb Cosmetics in the Buff palette. Y'all, that palette is just, Bankhead Bounce. That palette is just amazing because turns out the Temptress from Jaclyn's palette had a little bit of glitter in it once I looked at it, and I didn't want a glitter tone for my smoky look, so we had to end up using the onyx, the black onyx. We also ended up using the burnt umber and the Beats by Deb cosmetic as well, but we're going to get into that. So yeah, but if you don't have the Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2, you should definitely get it. It's a great palette. So first shadow that we're tapping into directly under the eye bone is going to be Perfectionist. That's going to be in the Jaclyn Hill palette. That's going to go right under the arch, okay? This is the lightest shade. When you're doing a smoky eye, on the lid, it's going to start off dark and then it fades into a lighter shade, just like smoke. So you're going to want to put your lightest shade down first and then build from there. All right, my babies, next shadow that we're going to be using is G Baby. This is also in the Jaclyn Hill palette. You're going to tap G Baby right on top, well, right under. You're going to put it on the butt. Okay, you're going to put it on the butt of Perfectionist. Okay, and then you're going to blend that in. Remember, I keep telling you guys, it is important to go back and forth with the colors, because when you're putting one shadow on top of another, sometimes that first shadow can fade away. But you don't want it to fade away. You want to still be able to see that color. So you're going to go back and forth until you're able to see both shadows going into a smooth transition. Now, here is where my girl Deb had to come in, okay? So that darker shade, that chocolate shade that I'm putting down, that's going to be Burnt Umber in the Beats by Deb Cosmetic palette in the buff, okay? So the brush that I'm using, I call it a pencil brush because it literally only goes where I need it to go. It literally writes almost, okay? Sorry, y'all, I was choking. So the trick with doing a smoky eye, and to be honest with you, any type of shadow, you have to have the right type of brushes, okay? You can't do certain looks with any size brush because your shadow is going to go all over the place. You have to control where you're putting your shadow. So with this pencil brush that I call it, I'm literally able to put that chocolate tone right under G Baby. Okay, so the shadow that I'm putting on my lid is going to be Onyx, also in the Beats by Deb Cosmetics palette in the buff again. So what I'm doing, I'm taking that black shade and I'm tapping it off before I'm putting it on my lid, okay? I think I told you guys in one of my past videos, you have to be very careful with black, okay? Because you can go from, okay, this looks good, and then you done went all crazy and now it look like you got a black eye. So you just gotta be real careful with that. I always pick up the shadow, tap it off, and then I apply it to my lid. So once again, after you put that black shadow down, you're going to want to go back in into your chocolate shade or burnt umber, and you're just going to go back and forth and make sure that everything is blending seamlessly, okay? All right, my babies. So I think I tried to put you guys on in my last tutorial, but yeah, you definitely need to start using this Epsilite, especially if you have oily skin like me. Remember, it goes on like a liquid, but when it rubs into your skin and dissolves, it feels like a powder, and it just smooths out your pores and it just blurs out all of your blemishes. It's great. And then you put your primer on top. Primer I'm going to be using is the Milk Cosmetics Hydro Grip Primer. You guys, if this one is too expensive for you, e.l.f. also has a Hydro Grip Primer. I believe that will be the dupe, okay? I haven't tried it yet, but I will be doing a tutorial on like drugstore makeup. That'll be really good for you guys if you don't have time to like go to Sephora or Ulta, or you don't want to order it. You just want to go right there to your local Walgreens or CVS or whatever it is. I'm going to be doing a series on that for you guys. But yeah, Epsilite and your primer, besties. Okay, and for foundation, we're going to be using One Size by Patrick Starr. I have been hearing great things about this foundation. When I went in Sephora, I was just like, you know what? Let's just try Patrick Starr, period. Y'all, I got the foundation, I got the eyeliner pen, which I did not use in this video, but I will be using soon. I also got the translucent powder. Yeah, so needless to say, the foundation gave skin. Do you hear me? I mean, y'all know Sephora Best Skin Ever is my favorite foundation right now, but I promise you, Patrick Starr did his big one with this, okay? Yeah, go try it out, sis, right now. Go get it right now. So for under eye concealer, we're going to be using the same Tarte Tape Shape Concealer. Yeah, I be having to say that slow because it's a tongue twister for me. Tarte Tape Shape Concealer. Alright, and to blend out my concealers today, we're going to be using a damp beauty blender, okay? Damp sponge, whatever you like to use. Just make sure that it's damp, okay? When it's damp, it helps blend more seamlessly than when it's dry. I have nothing against a dry beauty. I have nothing against a dry beauty blender. However, I just think the blend comes out better when it is damp. I damp my beauty blenders with setting spray. Alright guys, so I'm going to put another concealer under my eye just to give it a really bright eye. It also gives it just another layer to make sure you got that full coverage going up under the eye, okay? Because we don't want any creases. So it's just going to be a lighter shade, whatever shade you have. This one is going to be by Fit Me. I believe it's in the tone Fair Rose. I'm also going to go ahead and put on my contour. I'm going to be using e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the tone Rich Ebony. So for blush, I'm going to be using e.l.f. Putty Blush. This one is going to be in the tone Bora Bora. Y'all, this was my first time using a cream blush, so I'm not going to front. I kind of went in a little scared, y'all, so I just did a little bit. I didn't know what to expect. But when I blended it out, it was really cute. I did go back on top of it with powder because I wanted it more defined. But next time I will go in like balls deep. Yeah. Guys, to set my under eye, instead of using a pressed powder how I usually do, I just went in with my Juvia's Place Tan Bronzer. And I just placed that directly under my eye. It turned out really good. You don't always have to use what it's meant for in that area. Makeup is very diverse. You can use anything for anything as long as you make it look good, okay? There's no rules to makeup. Yes, so let's get into this One Size by Patrick Star translucent powder. Baby, it is everything. Okay? Now, I do still love my Dermablend translucent. I will definitely still be using it. But imagine just using them together. I mean, it was just great. When I took my pictures, there was no flashback. I didn't look like a ghost. It blended into my skin perfectly. Now, the way that I used it, my puff powder, I sprayed it with my setting spray, just made it just a little damp. I put a little bit of the powder on the puff and pressed it into my skin. After I did that, I went back in to bake. Okay, this time I picked it up just a little bit heavier and placed it on my under my cheeks. Carved out my contour and on top of my lip. Okay, and to set my contour, you guys already know I'm using my Juvia's Place bronzer palette in the tone dark. I am going to go in with my Sephora waterline pencil in the tone coconut. I actually got this from TaylorMade Jane. She uses this pencil all the time, and every time she uses it, it's an absolute hit. So I had to go and pick it up because she's one of my favorites. So yeah, it is the Sephora line. It's in the tone coconut. So for my under eye shadow, I'm going to go back in with a small detail brush. First, I'm going to put the black shadow, and that's just going to be a really thin line, okay? Because again, we don't want to have the raccoon eye. We don't want the black eye. So it's going to be a really thin line of shadow. Then I'm going to go back in with burnt umber, again with a small detail brush. I'm going to place that directly under the black shadow, okay? Directly on the onyx. For mascara, I did use my Huda Beauty mascara. I'm in love with that mascara. Okay, it is literally best next to Best Sex Ever mascara by Too Faced. Okay, so yeah, remember I told y'all I had to go back in with some blush. So this one is gonna be my favorite, Shayna B. So I had to place that on top just because I wanted it to be a little bit more defined. And I actually got a little bit of mascara on my cheek, y'all. So yeah, as you can see, I'm taking that spoolie. I waited until it dried and then I just scraped it off, okay? It's as if it was never there. So little tip, sis, little tip. Listen, if you are still here at this point of the tutorial, girl, you are a real one, and I really appreciate you. Okay, baby, I hope you are subscribed, because why not? Like I said, it's a whole vibe over here. Okay, I'm giving you all the tips. We don't gatekeep, we don't do none of that. All right, why would we do that? Yeah, so we're going in with our Morphe lip liner in the tone Richie. And then right after that, I'm going to put my Juvia's Place in the tone Muted right on top, okay? And it's just going to blend. I wanted to do the lip just like my eye, okay? I wanted it to be smoky, okay? It was giving very much sexy, giving very much date night, okay? Giving very much kiss me and look me in my eyes. Alright, y'all, and to finish off the look, I did top it off with some Beats by Deb Cosmetics highlighter in the tone Miami Beach. I also sprayed it down with that One Size setting spray by Mr. Patrick Star. Yes, my mouse, it was giving, it was giving. I also put on top the Morphe continuous setting spray, just because I love that setting spray, okay? Both of them can bind together. I promise you, your face ain't going nowhere, sis, okay? And it is giving, yes ma'am, the Smokey Eye Glam that was highly requested. I hope you guys love it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what y'all want to see. I love getting requests from y'all, okay? It's so hard to figure out what I should do next, because it's just so much to give in the makeup community, okay? Because y'all, my head just be everywhere. I don't be knowing what to do next. So when y'all tell me what y'all want to see, makes it easier on me, and I give you what you want. Thank you for staying tapped in, baby. See you in the next one. Bye.